since the site, the linker is not working. I got all the way down to number 25, but yeah, the site stopped, doesn't work. So yeah, I've seen 70% of the top 250 greatest movies on IMDb. I might rank some of my say if I have seen these movies, but yeah, I haven't really seen many of the greatest movies of all time. So yeah, we'll be going over the list of the greatest movies of all time, top 250 by IMDb. We went over the top 10s, the greatest movies, which we all know the top 10s is just a mess of a list. They have Despicable Me in the top 100 movies of all time lists. I think most people can disagree with that. Most actual critics and most people who are more knowledgeable by movies and stuff know that Despicable Me is not one of the greatest movies of all time. So yeah, this list is ranking by the average score of a movie. Which yeah, if the movie has a very great score on IMDb, it's gonna be pretty high up on the list. So yeah, the first movie is The Shawshank Redemption, which is regarded as the one of the greatest movies of all time. Obviously, it was on the list on the top tens. Same thing with The Godfather and Part Two. This is same quality as Part One. The Dark Knight, which has a at number four, is not that far off from the top tens list. It's at number four. 12 Angry Men. That's a. And I'm not really going to talk about movies if if it have been mentioned on the top tens because it's 250 movies and I don't want to have to be with 4 hours explain every movie in detail about my opinions on them. If you want to watch them, if you want to see my opinions on some of these movies, some of these movies on this list, just go watch that list. It's more in depth. I'm gonna go over this list. Yeah, next is 12 Angry Men. That's a really old movie I have not seen. It's about people in a courthouse. Yeah, it sounds like an interesting movie, but yeah. Next is Schindler's List. That's the movie about World War. That's about the stuff that Mr. Mustache Man did during World War II. We can't mention his name because Twitter will get angry at us. Next is The War of the Rings. The whole entire trilogy is in the top 15, which I honestly agree with that as well. Pulp Fiction, have not seen that movie. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, that was also on the list on the other site as well, but of course, the ranker does not work, so of course we have to be on here. So, next is Fight Club. That's another movie I want to see. I'm gonna probably get around to seeing it eventually in the next few months. Next is for I have to make these videos as well. I also rewatch movies as well. Sometimes I watch new movies, but most times I just rewatch movies, which people say it's bad for you, but I like rewatching the same movies. I like seeing the same experiences because I am it's just so great seeing the same movies again. Next is Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is on the list, which is number one on the other two sites. So I don't know what's the difference between IMDb. Maybe there's some Forrest Gump haters out there who were angry that Shawshank Redemption wasn't higher than it. And yeah, next is Inception. Inception is a great movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. If you have not seen it, you should see it. It's a very great and interesting movie. It's a very confusing movie, but it's a very great movie. Next is Star Wars Episode 5. That's a classic sci-fi movie. War of the Rings. We went over the War of the Rings movies. Matrix, another classic sci-fi movie. Actually, the entire trilogy can be considered classics. It's actually the most, successful cyberpunk movie of all time, the Matrix trilogy. The most successful cyberpunk movies of all time besides the Terminator. Yeah, it's actually one of the few mainstream. It's one of the two mainstream cyberpunk franchises. The other one being the Terminator. Next is Goodfellas. I actually want to see this, but I record the movie on TV. I was on HBO. I got free for like a few days. Guess what? The movie was in freaking Spanish. I'm going to continue to explain that. I say that every single time. One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest. That's an old movie. Seven Samurai. That's a Japanese movie, I think. Seven. That's another old movie. City of God. Yeah, I never even heard of this movie before. City of God. That must be a Spanish movie. Next is Life is Beautiful. A movie I never heard of before. Next is The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs is at 23. That's a horror movie. I don't watch horror movies. I just do not watch horror movies. The only horror movies I can stand watching are like Alien and Jurassic Park and Jaws because it's just unrealistic that they're supposed to come back to life. And we all know the Shark in the Jaws movie is fake. It's plastic. It's a practical puppet. And basically, and also just stay out of the deep water if you are so scared of sharks. And yeah, of course, Alien. We all know aliens will not attack our planet anytime soon, so yeah. Next is A Wonderful Life. That's a really old Christmas movie. I have not seen it. I only don't really watch Christmas movies that much. Next is Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Of course, that's another classic sci-fi movie. It's come on, it's the original Star Wars trilogy. Next is Parasite. This is a movie. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't added to the watch list yet. I could have added. Yeah, it did add to Parasite. I really want to see. I haven't not seen Parasite yet. I have not seen this movie yet. It's considered, most people say it's a very great movie. It's a very amazing movie. It's a very amazing movie that you're gonna want to watch at least once. It's actually the highest ranked. And actually, it's the second highest ranked. I think Seven Samurai is a Japanese movie, and Life is Beautiful, I think, could be no, Seven Samurai, obviously, it's a Japanese movie. So, yeah, it's the second highest rated foreign movie. Which I'm surprised. Actually, I think it has a lower score. It has around the same score as Dragon Ball, as like the Dragon Ball movies. What's happened? Like it's not on this list for some reason. But yeah, next is Spirit. Next is no. Saving Private Ryan's after Parasite. Saving Private Ryan, I think that's the highest rated war movie. It's at 27. Spirited Away, that's a classic Japanese anime movie. I'm surprised that's on the list, but not the Dragon Ball movies. So, no, the Dragon Ball movies have like an 8.1 or something like that. Next is The Green Mile. It's at 29. I have not seen this movie, but yeah, he's appearing on the greatest movies list. Interstellar, that's like one of the two movies I have not seen by Christopher Nolan. The other one being like the most obscure, the obscure movie. Next is Rio to Personal. It must be a Spanish movie. I have not seen it. The Usual Suspects. Yeah, I heard of that movie before. It's sort of be a classic movie. Hikari. Oh, that's another Japanese movie. It's another Japanese movie. Next is The Lion King is on this list. Yeah, I know someone who hates. I know a few people who despise this movie. It's probably because the movie's popular, so they have to be on the one side who hate it to be cool. Be a part of the cool group that they hate The Lion King. I know several people who despise this movie to no end. And yeah, whenever I talk about The Lion King sucking, I'm only talking about the remake of The Lion King. Because you gotta remember, they remade The Lion King as well, which was that terrible remake. Yeah. Next is American History X. I have not seen it before. It must have been one of those Oscar bait movies. The Pianist, another one of those old, Next is Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Judgment Day is a classic movie. They've been Back to the Future. Modern Times, I have not seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of these older movies. Psycho, that's a really old horror movie. Gladiator, that's another classic historical movie about the Roman Empire. City Lights, that's even older. That's 1941. Wow. The youngest I've seen a movie was probably like, Wizard of Oz or something. I have not seen anything before that. The Untouchables. That's what the Upside is based off of. The Untouchable. It's what the Upside is based off of. Next is The Departed. I never heard of that before. Whiplash. That sounds like it's a movie about cowboys, but it's a musical. Yeah, I don't want to see it's a musical. Oh yeah, The Prestige. That's the other Christopher Nolan movie I haven't seen. I think that's a Christopher Nolan movie. I might be wrong, but yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, it's like a lot of old movies. Joker's on the list. Joker's in the top 50, but not Endgame anymore. Endgame's no longer top 50 anymore. But yeah, Joker's at 50. Next is, we're gonna never skip over the movies I never heard before. Because, yeah, Alien, it's a classic horror movie. Apocalypse Now is a classic war movie. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's one of the war, it's about Vietnam. The most infamous war in American history. The war that America lost. Next is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a classic action movie. Memento, it's another Christopher Nolan movie, and he's a very great director. So yeah. Next is The Django Unchained. I have not seen that movie. The Sign, that's a classic horror movie. Infinity War is on the list. Yes, Infinity War is on the movie. Yeah, of course, Infinity War is an epic movie. Wall-E, that's a Pixar movie. It's average. I don't know. It's a good movie, but I don't always say it's among the greatest of movies. Like Pixar fans make it out to be. I'm surprised I haven't seen Up, one of the most overrated movies of The Incredibles. Next is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a great movie. I actually was saying, oh, this is another When I first came, I was like, yeah, this movie's gonna flop. No one's gonna watch it. It's gonna be a woke movie, and yeah, they're obviously trying to change Spider-Man for some reason to appease like Twitter, you know. And I actually saw this movie. I was surprised how great this movie was. I was expecting it to be just another movie about, but then I started seeing everybody saying how great this movie was. You're missing out. How great this movie was. I saw it, and I agree with all these people who have been saying this all this time. Next movie is Endgame. This is more Endgame even is on IMDb. It says that Endgame just cannot escape. Yeah, that's like you can't escape the top 100 movies. All these, all the millennials are throwing up Endgame on the top 10s. Okay, which yeah, Endgame is still on the list of the top 100, 250 movies in all of history. This is like the record books of movies, and Endgame is on here. The Dark Knight Rises. That's it. That's the sequel to Dark Knight. I don't have to explain that one. Aliens. Aliens is on this list. Aliens is a classic movie. Your Name, that's a Japanese movie. I actually want to see it, but yeah, you can't really find it. I don't want to pay $20 to see this movie. Because it's always $20 for this movie. So yeah, it's Coco, that's a Pixar movie. American Beauty, and I haven't seen that. 1913, I want to see it, but it's $20 currently, so I'll wait until like Black Friday or something to get it. Next, I heard that 1913 is an amazing war movie. Some people have been saying it's better than the Saving Private Ryan. Next is Braveheart. I think that's a British movie. Next is Toy Story. Toy Story, it's a classic movie. It's a classic animated movie for kids. Yeah. Next is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, which is considered the worst because of course it had that snake that had that worm called Jabba the Hutt, which is easily one of the most hated characters in fiction, besides Jar Jar Binks. But yeah, of course, the characters, but ever since the prequels came out and the sequels especially, Jar Jar Binks is not Jar Jar Binks, but Jabba the Hutt is not really the most hated Star Wars character anymore. He used to be a long time ago, so yeah. Next is Good Will Hunting. I have seen that one. It's a good movie. And here, Reservoir Dogs. A lot of people were saying how great Reservoir Dogs are, but I have not seen that one. Dango, that's an Indian movie. I'm surprised that's even on, and I'm surprised that's on the list. Citizen Kane, yeah, they keep saying that Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time, but it's not really ranked highly on these lists. Yeah, it's not really ranked that highly, and IMDb is barely in the top 100, which is surprising considering how film pieces always say Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time. It's the greatest movie ever made. Okay, it's the greatest and most amazing movie in the entirety of movies, and yeah, you have to see it. It's the greatest, the most amazing of amazing movies, but it's not barely in the top 100 movies on this list. It has the lowest score in Endgame. Next movie is Snatch. Really, that's on the list. Yeah, Scarface. That's a crime drama. Yeah, Toy Story 3 is on the list. Double Identity, that's a good movie. Toy Story 3 is a good movie. Up, oh yeah, this movie's overrated. Up is an overrated movie. That's the first movie on the list. I can just tell you, Up is overrated. Okay, I'm sorry, but the first 15 minutes of the movie is not the whole. It's only like 1/8 of the movie. Okay, the rest of the movie has to be good. Okay, the rest of the movie has to be good. Of course, it was the same problem with another movie called Endgame. Okay. The fight scene is good, but most of the movie is just you just want to skip through it. Same thing with Up, okay. But the thing is that it's the same problem with Up, but Up is even more boring than Endgame. Because at least Endgame has at least some bits of entertainment between there and the final battle. Up, nope. Okay, Mighty Python and the Holy Grail. That's a classic of movies. Die Hard is a classic action movie. Batman Begins. Batman, that's the roles of the Dark Knight trilogy. Green Book, that is a classic. That is a good movie. Considering that there's a lot of movies that won Best Picture here, but Green Book, that's a good movie. We'll be going back down here. It's a movie I recently reviewed on here on this channel as well. Yeah, we're going down. Fibber Roads Out of Ebbing, Missouri. That's another good movie. It's even it was nominated for Best Picture. My Name is Totoro. That's another Japanese movie. It sells pretty well on Amazon. That's for sure. Jurassic Park is at 166, but we all know Jurassic Park is a classic. On the other list, it's much higher. But yeah, but again, this site has a lot of more older movies on here. Room. What the hell is Room? What the hell is Room? No one. What the hell is this? Room? Oh, I think that's that dumb movie that Brie Larson got an Oscar for. Yeah, but it's that dumb movie that Brie Larson got an Oscar for. For that, Room is a 1 out of 10. Brie Larson does not deserve no Oscar because Brie Larson's terrible. Moving on, but yeah. Next is Blade Runner. Blade Runner is a classic sci-fi movie. Finding Nemo, that's a classic among classics. Kill Bill, that's a classic action movie. Klaus is a higher score than Toy Story, but that got best. But Toy Story got best picture, and I can see why people were angry that Toy Story got best picture because Disney has a monopoly. It's called a monopoly. Hacksaw Ridge, that's a great war movie. How to Train Your Dragon, I think that's DreamWorks' highest rated movie. Catch Me If You Can, that's a good movie. It's not as amazing as the site makes it out to be, but yeah. Logan, that's a great movie. That's actually on this list of the highest rated movies of all time. I just because it had the guy. I just saw it because it had the guy from Foreign. I didn't know it was rated among the highest rated movies of all time. That's actually the most surprising thing I've seen. I thought it had like an average score. Spotlight, Monsters Inc. That's a good movie. Don't really put it among the best of the best, but yeah, that Terminator, Aladdin's on the list. And yeah, that's the list of the top 100 movies. So, TV Swords TV. Oh, Dragon Ball Z is a TV movie. And documentaries are not included. So yeah, Walking with Dinosaurs is not included on this list. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is a TV movie. That's why it's not included on the list. Dragon Ball Z is a TV movie. Dragon Ball Super Broly, it's a TV movie. Oh, let's go to the most popular movies. These are the most popular movies. Oh, just new movies. New movies, essentially. What's Sonic? Sonic is not even on this list. Sonic is only at 38 and the most popular movies of all time. Yeah, these are the most popular movies. I will go back to this later. Escape from that's a new movie. Escape from Pretoria. That's to say in South Africa. I'll go on this list later to see on here. Yeah, I've seen only 20 out of 100 movies because all these are like new movies. Yeah, and that's basically it. Goodbye.